what I desire. Ooh.
Alright, Race 14. Got the final 8 now. We're at Las Vegas. Our first of 3 rounds before the Championship 4 race at Phoenix. And, 8 drivers remaining. Two of the Hughes Motorsports entries are 1 and 2 in practice. Only 1 is in the playoffs. As of now, it's Keith topping the practice charts. Gonna be a crazy race, I'm sure. We got a new entry slash old entry, as we got Jeff Tanner replacing for his brother Liam, who was injured at Texas Motor Speedway. So let's hope he fares just as well in his debut race. Rocking some familiar colors but new paint on the side of that 21 Chevy Insurance King entry. Yeah, let's get into qualifying. Looks like drivers are ready before I am. Good luck all who are remaining. McRae, highest of the playoff drivers, qualifying on the outside pole. Excellent work for the GMS Motorsports team. As always, when it comes to qualifying, they always seem to be pretty reliable in that sense. Who else we got for the playoffs? We got Keith Hughes outside second row. Carlos Perez, the huge upset from the previous round, eliminated. Trina Schwartz, the year battle starting to heat up a little after a few shaky performances with her. She's gonna start on the outside third row today. Who else? We got Dave Grubb in 8th, Mike Carroll in 12th, Jess Hanna in 20th. We gotta go a little bit further down. Wayne King in 25th. Who else do we have in the battle? Race, where are you, my brother? 26th. I think that's nearly everyone. Going to my list here, I think I got everybody who is remaining in the playoffs. So looks like the 8 contenders remaining are qualified second to 26th, though. not too far down. It's pretty easy to pass here, so I'm not too worried if you guys qualified low. Alex Jarvie bringing up the tail end. Excellent performance on his part. So proud. All right, let's get into it.
Drivers, to your car.
Right. Oh. Just gonna follow with Chris Hughes here, or sorry, Chris McRae. It is in the playoffs. We got our keys to the race this evening. First one is gonna be points reset. Everyone's gonna pretty much start within 7 points of each other, so you gotta pretty much have a clean start for the next 3 races. It's all or nothing for these, you know, the remaining 4 races. If you don't win in the next 3 races, your season's pretty much gonna be done. And of course, you gotta catch those Toyotas. We're at another 1.5 miles. They're gonna be strong, so just keep an eye out for those guys. They're always a threat on these bad boys. 67 laps today, and pit window is going to be around 26 to 31 laps. Let's go green. Good start by Chris Green. Looks like the low line is probably going to be the preferred line at this track, but it should be alright if you get stuck up high. The gap should form behind these drivers. Over the course of the run, it seems that they get a little bit tight, so we might see some more spaced out racing this evening. Who knows, we might even have our first non-92, very slow on the apron. I wonder if he had to pit into the green. That's interesting. It looks like he's going to go right to the tail end. Might even be a lap down, I think. Fell off the pace already. Let's hope he can limp it to the finish. Yes, the 92 is in fact Daniel Banks a lap down. Let's hope for a better performance from this guy. Back to the leader. Chris Green in that Metallica / PCL construction Ford F-150. You can see the first Toyota right there, Carlos Perez, just racing for wins at this point now. As is most of the field, 28 other trucks are just for wins. See, things are starting to space out a little bit on the front of the pack. Should be the case for most of it after the first set of green flag stops. If we have green flag stops, more or less everyone's going to have to make 2 stops tonight. Second one will likely just have to be a flash and dash. You can see that 42 truck teammate to the 91 with those Blue Dog Racing entries. Like they got a good setup on their trucks today. Only the one that should be up front isn't right now. He's got to make his way up through the pack. Jose Hernandez in that Black Sabbath / what? Can't remember. Tractor Supply Co. Ford F-150. Sorry, forgot the sponsorship. See Matt Moss making his way up to front, slowly but surely. These trucks are running very fast on this 1.5 miles. It's a very grippy surface. Nearly flat out, if not fully flat out, with new tires on. That'll stay most of the entire stint, as tire wear isn't a large factor on this track. You can take 2 tires if you need to go an extra 10 laps, 15 laps or so. The 3 truck is making his way up quickly. Were you that far down, Matt? Were you 19th? Wow. Unbelievable. Lap 7 already. These laps are going quicker than a short track. Go through the field a little bit, because sooner rather than later we're going to be our pit window. See that 31 of George Gallagher. He's having a decent rookie campaign. See that 6 truck, Sean Cohen. He actually had a pretty good performance last race, I didn't mention it. He did all right. 3 of Zach Shaw. Wonder Kid just couldn't pull it off. The last race, just a few points short. He was the first truck. Didn't make the cutoff. See that 91 truck went high. If we're gonna have all change for the lead, as that 42 truck led the previous lap, and now the 1 truck is gonna take his shot at it. The highest playoff driver remaining is Keith Hughes, team owner and top performer for his team this season. There in the second row is the leaders are 2 by 2 now, about 10 rows deep. Back. This is like a fast style super speedway almost, the way these guys are running it. That 28 truck started on the outside row. Chris McRae right there in 4th now. Adelina Schwartz not too far behind them on the inside. Looking for a solid playoff run. She's already surpassed any expectations Vladimir Makarov could have ever had for her at this point. She's been exceptional this season. Only remaining rookie to make the playoffs. Actually, I think she was the only rookie to make the playoffs, and she has outperformed a few team owners and prime drivers, so it's unbelievable. This girl's going far in this league, that's for sure. I can tell. Wouldn't be surprised to see her in Xfinity next season if team owner Makarov lets her. I'd be happy to see her move up. She has progressed very well this season. Like the Matitude motor trucks are back on the move. I haven't seen the 48 truck make her way up to the front, but the other 2 trucks have been in the top 5, top 10. The majority of this one. Another playoff driver, Mike Carroll, trying to make his way up to the front. If you can just lead a lap, you know, that's 1 extra point, and honestly, that could make or break your entire season. It may not come down to the wins, as we saw in the previous round of the playoffs. Only 1 playoff driver won. So, well, sorry. Okay, Christian won last race, but he was pretty much in already. But it could come down to more consistent finishes than wins at this point. I'll tell you what you're going to need to win is the final race, that's for sure. Final 4 trucks. They're going to be the best of the best. See Mike Carroll looking to take that lead and get that extra bonus point. Adelina Schwartz took 1 for herself in the last lap. The 89 and 24 trucks of Jarvie Motorsports are making their way up to the front. They had average qualifying positions. Still haven't seen the team owner of Alex Jarvie make his way up front. Starting right up the rear, so he work cut out for him at the start of the green flag. We're on lap 20, or sorry, we're on lap 16 already. See another playoff driver. It's kind of fun to see how the revolving door of playoff drivers are making their way up to the front slowly and then kind of falling back a little bit. Coming right back. It's like a conveyor belt. There's Hannah and Christian Grace next to make their way up to the front. The newbie, Jeff Tanner, plotting in for his brother, making his way back up to the front. His debut race this season. I think he'll be taking over for that truck for the rest of the season if the team owner Greg Shetner's medical report was correct. Time will tell. Liam was starting to get on a roll, I thought, but all that momentum now gone, and hopefully he can just pass on whatever notes he had throughout the season to his identical twin brother, Jeff. Like that two truck's breaking out a small lead now, one of the bigger ones we've seen so far since the green flag has dropped. He won the last race at Texas Motor Speedway, so maybe this Blue Dog team has figured out something on these mile and a halves to take it to the Toyotas. Greg Shetner, team owner of that 21, right behind him now. Probably not going to pressure him too much as it's the first race. I'll make the kid nervous. You guys are crazy with that broadcaster curse, man. I think that's just BS. As a broadcaster, I'm supposed to comment on the exciting things happening, and obviously the two truck leading is a notable. I don't want to omit from my commentating, so obviously I'm going to say something about the two. If he ends up blowing up or crashing, obviously that's a coincidence. Didn't work for the 93 truck most of the season, so. Making his way back up front. He has a solid mile and a half program on his team. Still only the single truck team in the series remaining. As for team trucks, Jess Hanna has 2 and everybody else is riding with 3. 36 trucks in the field today. Maximum would be 39 with the amount of teams we have in the series. If anybody else wants to join, that would instantly bring us, well, not instantly, it would bring us to 42 if they expanded to our operation, which would start leading us to qualifying races, if you guys all forgot about those. So the way that would work, I guess, for next season would be the top 2, or sorry, the top 35 in points would be locked in for the show. If at the beginning of the season we would have charter teams named for the start. Whoever has a charter is guaranteed to make the race, so if they're outside of the 35, then whoever is 35th or 34th, if there's more than one charter team knocked out, they would instantly be pushed to the qualifying race. So the bottom 35 would all have to be in that qualifying race, and pretty much everyone would make it except for, well, it would just basically be the top 5 to make the race, depending on how many new teams we get in the Season 2 list. Those Manitou trucks have fallen back a little bit now, but we are getting close to pit stops. We shall see what happens. Looks like the window's going to open after this lap. Start to see some trucks maybe get down pit road. I don't think the speed loss is great. So, yeah, it looks like they're about 0.8 of a second slower from the start of the green flag, which isn't that much this type of track. It's gonna come down to mostly who can get in the cleanest and avoid contact on pit road. So let's spectator view and see if we got any takers. It's like none after 26. Got a truck fell off the pace. I think that's the 90. The 93 truck made a stop. I think that was the 92 saw. 93 truck on pit road. Still none of the top 5 making it down. Have this up so we can kind of scan the field. Looks like nobody else came down pit road. 28 now. Still gonna have to make 2 stops. I don't think anyone can stretch this 33 or 34 laps. It's off my viewing. See the 91 leading the charge again, and none of the leaders coming down pit road. Interesting. Oh, we got one taker, another Eliza Racing entry. Like those Toyotas aren't getting the best fuel mileage today. Don't think it'll hurt him in the long run, but you never know. This could be a fuel race again. Taking a splash of gas versus half a can could make the difference. Now we see the majority of the trucks making their way down pit road. About half the field, more than half the field. Hitting pit road, looks like everyone made it cleanly, unlike Texas. A couple of drivers missed the cone. Keep our eye out on the 91 truck, as he was the leader and I believe the pole sitter, so he should be one of the first trucks off, barring any incidents. To be clean. 93 truck spent a lot of time on pit road. Not sure what happened. Had an issue. It's just fuel was low anyway. I'm gonna want to take 4 tires and fuel. Second stop, I'm not entirely sure you want to take 4 tires. I'm sure I will take 4 tires, but if it was me, I'd probably just take 2 and go. 91 truck clean off pit road. Decent margin. Bunch of trucks, looks like everyone kind of got off relatively okay. Following exactly everyone. Looks like that 2 truck. Oh no, the 2 came a lap later. Like he's off going again. 92 truck is going to be 2 laps down shortly. Let's see who wins this race off pit road. It's going to be the 2 or the 91 truck, and it looks you might have the edge here. See that 90 truck in the camera. That 92 truck doesn't slow him up too much, but looks like that 2 got a very huge advantage. Very big, can't speak right now. A very big advantage staying out that extra lap. Like I said, it was probably less than a second time lost for that extra lap. But if you've got a clean pit entry and a clean exit, this is the end result. You're able to make that overcut nice and clean. That 92 truck kind of held him up a little bit, but drafting is fairly important with these trucks, so I don't think he would have been able to break away anyway. But 92 truck doing what he needs to do to get himself punched through the final championship round. Phoenix just staying out front, staying out of trouble. Win would certainly be a huge plus for this team, but even a top 5 for any playoff driver today is what you want to do. Going to, I believe, Talladega next. That's going to be a wild card for anybody, so that's a survival race. And of course, we're going to end this off, as NASCAR likes to, at a nice short track for some good short track racing. Version of Martinsville I have, it's probably one of the better ones I've seen for AI, so I'm excited to go back there. That was a great race we had earlier on in the season. It's going to be interesting to see who can kind of survive the next 2 races. This is more a predictable race when it comes to, upgrade ability. It's going to show off here more than anywhere, I think. Martinsville's more of a chassis type track, so whoever has one of the best chassis is going to excel there, and there'll be aero and engine the next race, but the way these AI run, it's more of a auto pick than anything. Of course, good pit stops on your green at Talladega are always crucial. That'll make or break the race for sure. We'll see what happens. I can't wait to get there. It's going to be crazy. It's important to upgrade, but like it really is mostly apparent for the 1.5-mile tracks, or anything technical and fast. Short tracks are, it's a lot down to the driver at short tracks. Of course, mechanical grip is always important there. For this game, I'd say driver stats are more important at short tracks, and I think we all know at this point super speedways are just like it's just a random lotto pick. So you never know what could happen. at this rate, it's not looking overly great for our playoff drivers for the top 10. I'm only seeing 2 playoff drivers in the top 10. The number 2 truck of Tristan Grace and 33 of Dave Grubb. Like our playoff drivers are struggling this evening. Go down to that 33 truck. Getting passed right now by Hope Torres. Still should be in the top 10. I see Catalina Schwartz there just barely hanging on to her 11th spot. Trying to get a top 10. But overall, I would say successful seasons for most of these teams. Obviously, Jarvie Motorsports needs to start improving on something. I'm not sure they know what to do at this point. They have stopped their upgrading as of, I want to say Knoxville. Once they realize they're not going to make the playoffs, what was the point, really? Might as well save up and bust out the Xfinity team and come out strong with 3 cars right off the get-go. I think that's the plan. See some other teams starting to save money and upgrade here and there. It's going to be interesting to see which strategy works best. Hopefully Jarvie Motorsports isn't the only team with 3 cars right off the bat. I see there's a couple that can afford potentially 2 or 3 if they save a little more. Man, lap 41, things are flying. And we might have our first caution free race. Of course, you're all going to say I'm jinxing it now. Might have something show up, but once we get an engine failure or something that gets a truck stalled out, it's going to be fairly clean. Very fast race. Of course, this race is only 400 miles in real life. That's why we're doing 67 laps today. So last race was a 500-mile race at Texas, so that's why that one was a bit longer on laps, if I'm mistaken. But as we kind of slow down go down the field here, we can see that 50 truck had a terrible stop. 3 truck, strong performer, 82 truck they were all well up the field before these pit stops. Now they find themselves about 10 seconds behind the leader. Slowly losing a little ground. Ooh, 41 truck just clips the wall there. Erickson. Not sure what that was about. Haven't seen that whole race from anybody, so maybe it was just their error. If we go far enough back now, we can see Lily Holmes, who's been exceptional the last 3 races. She had a very good playoff round. The only thing is she didn't make the playoffs. 3 truck is slow on the field. Ooh, that looks like I don't see any smoke. What could this be? Doesn't look like he's gonna make it back to the pits. We might have our first caution, Matt, and I think that is what you wanted, just not why you wanted. Yellow flag, and he is gonna stop. He's not gonna make it to the pits, so we're gonna. Oh yeah, that's another thing. You got low truck count. Did the caution come out? I don't see any lights. No caution. So looks like he's slowed up enough. Sorry. Looks like he's slowed up enough to stay out of harm's way. As we say, Chris McRae, last truck on the lead lap, started an outside pole. Playoff driver struggling right now. The lowest playoff driver in the field. That quite a dramatic turn. Go back up to the front now. Hope Torres and Andrew McAvoy, both on the same team, leading this one. 9 truck, John Jacobs. Disappointing rookie season. Has failed to impress. See that outside lane. Actually gained some momentum. Haven't seen that all race. John Jacobs failing to impress team owner Alex Jarvie. He is certainly on his chopping block if he doesn't start pulling out at least 1 top 10 on the season. There's going to be some questions that need answering. As our favorite boy Francisco Guerrero riding in third place right now. He's had a very up and down season. Even when he seems to have a great truck and solid finish happening, just doesn't end up working out for him when the checkered flag flies. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens to him in the off season. It's I'd say he's one of those bubble drivers that may not return to the team. There are plenty of options for these teams to look elsewhere. 3 wide now for third place. 4 truck. Junior Brock, our agitator at Mosport. He certainly shook the tree a little bit. Caused some issues for herself and other teams in the field, mainly being WK Racing entry of Brody Walker. Let's not rehash that nightmare. B3 truck looking promising. I'd say this is your dark horse for today, folks. He's just getting better as this race goes on. And it looked to be like he was gonna have a quiet second stint, but looks like they caught up to those leaders and got a solid pack here. 10 cars fighting for the lead within a second and a bit. 7 truck starting to pull away. He did that power move on the outside, and he's starting to pull a gap now in that 91 truck. The 91 truck's definitely been the strongest truck all night, at least the most consistent. That 2 truck of Tristan Grace starts to fall back since the pit stop. I think the 33 truck is going to have a great finish. I'm getting word from team owner Dave Grubb is saying Francisco is not on the chopping block. He is safe. That looks like we got the 29 truck of Jess Hanna starting to crawl his way up from the field, nearing the lead of that second pack. It looks like it's on the timing sheet. The second pack is getting closer, led by Trip Chase. It might be. Oh, of course, that's a very early pit stop. 30. Wow, 3 laps. They're all pitting. That's strange since nobody really pit lap 30 first time. Okay, was not expecting pit stops this early, but looks like we had a few takers. 43 truck, Bettner, 50 truck, Mike Carroll coming in. Looks like they're gonna break this one up a little bit, folks. And we're gonna have a quieter pit road at least for the second round of pit stops. Quite a few trucks still staying out. I didn't on to those guys. The 9 truck on his way, as is the 28 is making his pit stop. Sorry, it looks like the 43 is cleanly out. Try and find some of these playoff drivers for you guys. Looks like the 50 truck is on his way. That 91 truck. And from near the lead, 9, Catalina Schwartz in. I'm very shocked to see trucks pitting this early, but like there's still a small pack that are still on the track. So if we get a caution, this is going to really help them. Led by playoff driver Dave Grubb. Tristan Grace not far behind, so this could be a huge advantage for those playoff drivers. We'll see who had the best strategy. I'm sure that 33 truck will probably come in shortly. You don't want to leave it too long, or else you lose that sweet spot of the overcut. You're gonna start losing about half a second to a second a lap now. So whatever advantage you had from making a clean pit stop, you're gonna lose by staying out on the track longer. Looks like they're gonna stay out another lap, as they have lapped everybody except up to 7th. So God forbid there's a caution for the other 6 playoff drivers, but this could be huge for these 2 guys staying out. It's a gamble, always a gamble when you stay out. But I think if there's one track to do it on, it's going to be this one. Either this one or Martinsville. That's for sure. You don't want to you don't want to pit early at Martinsville. Gonna stay out. So it looks like these guys are gonna go the full run, and who knows? Maybe they just might short pit. Probably would only need less than half a tank or half a can of fuel to make it the rest of the way. So whatever time they may lose on the track now, they might actually gain by a shorter pit stop. We're gonna see. Looks like the 2 truck is still on the pit. Looks like he got held up. Sorry about that. 2 truck got held up. 4 truck made her pit stop. 50 looks like he's just on the tail end of 1 lap down. 82 truck is 2 laps down, so yeah, you do lose about a lap and a half. Your green flags conditions here. As the 33 makes his pit stop, gonna zoom out to see how everything kind of shakes up. Trying to figure out. I think the 42 truck should be the net leader, or at least the first truck that pit. Yeah, so the 9 truck, followed by the 26 and 7, are all there. So yeah, quick splash and dash, just like I would. It's exactly how I would do my race if I was doing this in real life. Just leave it as long as possible, just a quick gas and go, and off you go. Now, here's the thing though, if there's a yellow right now, it will still run the whole way, and you're going to be a lot slower now. So this is a gamble for sure, but I'm liking this gamble. Gotta risk it for the biscuit in the playoffs, and don't take any chances. How are you going to beat the competition? 33 truck with a nice lead now, and some drafting help with the 28 truck. Retains the lead. It's like the 4 and 2 are following. Looks like the 24 truck is the first truck that hit a little bit earlier. He might have taken more tires. So this is going to be a good finish. That's a good thing your crew is listening to the broadcast. They paid attention. And we're going to follow along. Looks like the 24 truck gained a little bit that lap, as the 33 is getting held up slightly by Chris McRae, another playoff driver who's just barely holding on to the lead lap. Looks like he's about to lose it now. As for playoff drivers, looks like nobody really a lap down yet, so Chris McRae will be the first one a lap down. Alex Jarvie, another poor performance. Also got stuck in the pit somewhere. Nothing new there, their pick sucks. As the 84 truck looking to steal the win late. That 2 truck, Tristan Grace, 2-time winner this year, looking to seal his fate by winning this one. Looks like the 33 truck, it's on those older tires, it just may not be enough or something. A little bit slower than the rest of the pack right now. These lap trucks are starting to affect these leaders. I really think the second pack might catch, but is it going to be enough? It's too little, too late, I think. 84 truck leads with got 2 laps to go. 2 truck looking low, not afraid to use the bumper. Very close there. The 2 truck's going to make a move. It would probably have to be on the back stretch of the next lap, so he's got about 1.5 miles to make a move. Or else this is going to be Virginia Brock's win. Of course, Virginia Brock is the teammate of another playoff driver, the 82 of Keith Hughes, so it would be a good strategy to stop the 2 truck from winning at all costs. Virginia Brock very controversial driver who started out so well, kind of faded a bit, and now she's looking for her first win. Looks like the 2 truck is going to get held up by all those lap trucks and the 33 looking low, but it's going to be the 84 of Virginia Brock taking this one and upsetting the playoff drivers. Nice work. Looks like the 2 truck did just barely beat Dave Grubb, but 2 very good finishes by these consistent playoff drivers. Nonetheless, this is going to help their chances of making the final 4. No question. They just got to survive the next 2 races and they might be alright. 85 truck of Makarov getting a solid finish. Quiet afternoon all round. Didn't even talk about the 20 truck. He finished in the top 5. Excellent work. 24, Juan Ramirez, his best career finish, 6th place. 91 truck dominated, or well, probably the most dominant truck all evening. Finishing in 7th. I'm sure they're a little disappointed with that one. Andrew McAvoy rounding out 8th. He's been getting a few top 10s lately. 89, John Jacobs, his best career finish. 9th position. Hope Torres in last top 10 position. So that was round 14 at Las Vegas. Not bad. That went very quick. It was about 35 minutes. That was insanely quick. Also, our first caution-free race. Very little drama happening. Of course, we had Matt Master make an early retirement, stopping on the backstretch, but well on the apron. Like they got his car towed before they could throw the yellow. And yeah, I think if this race went a few more laps, that second group would have caught those leaders and we would have had an excellent battle for the lead, but it's like ultimately it was just too little too late. Good strategy on Dave Grubb and Tristan Grace's part, even though they didn't win. I think that was probably the best strategy they could have come up with, or else they would have been stuck in that second pack, and who knows, they could have finished lower on the scale there. But yeah, not too bad from our playoff drivers, all kind of spread out evenly throughout the field. We had Tristan Grace and Dave Grubb obviously finished 2-3. Then we go down to 5th. We had Wayne King. And who else we got? Catalina Schwartz, 14th. S. Hanna, 15th. Go on a little further down. Keith Hughes, a very disappointing 23rd. That's probably one of his worst finishes. He's been very consistent this whole season. Mike Carroll, another disappointing finish. He's kind of been sliding a little bit lately, barely making it into the next round, or this round. So he's going to need to take it up a few notches if he wants to make it through. Chris McRae, very disappointing 30th place after starting on the outside pole. He's going to finish 30. That's terrible. I think that rounds out those 8 players still in the game. Carlos Perez, another very questionable race. He's been trending downwards lately, but his team is still doing okay. 22nd, and I'm with the 99, 28th, so not a good run for them actually, but yeah, it looks like Hughes Motorsports extends their point lead on the team points championship. They overtook Galiza Racing the last race or so. They're definitely going to extend. Looks like Blue Dog is climbing the charts, and man, I'm really liking the 2 and the 33 as of late. They're making the right moves, and Dave Grubb has been knocking on the door for a win for most of the season, and kind of lost one at Richmond, lost one again here a little bit today, and was very close at Mosport. So it's only a matter of time before we see that 33 truck make it into pit lane, or victory lane. Wayne King, another excellent finish. I'm liking those top 3 right now as the favorites. Catalina Schwartz, what an underdog. I think she's my new favorite underdog for this championship. If boy Zach Shaw couldn't win it, I'm gonna say this is gonna be my underdog favorite, Catalina Schwartz. Only rookie making the postseason, only rookie to remain in the postseason, obviously. But if she can pull out a couple more finishes like this, I would be sure she could find her way in the top 4. 29, I don't know, Jess. Like you've been having some really good finishes lately, but you're not upgrading as much as the other teams, and we're going to a fastest track on the schedule now. Next race, so we'll see what happens there. But boy, Daniel Banks didn't fare too well today. Early issues, kind of struggled most of the day. We'll see how that Avalanche Territory Racing team fares. Hopefully better than the hockey team they're named after. We were hit with COVID, so hopefully that doesn't spread onto your team now. But yeah, that was race 14. We'll be at Talladega. I'm gonna try and maybe do something on Monday for the online race. Maybe I can't promise anything for sure on Tuesday, so we might do a doubleheader or a back-to-back. Sorry, those 2 days. We'll see what happens based on my schedule, but for sure Tuesday. Maybe if we're lucky, Monday and Tuesday. So that was Las Vegas. Kind of boring race. We're used to all these good finishes lately, so I'm a little disappointed not to see anything crazy happen, but maybe it's better we have a little bit more consistency now that we're headed toward the nitty-gritty of the season. I think Talladega and Martinsville will definitely be a different outcome for yellow flags, at least. Who knows what's going to happen in those races? They're always crazy. Then we go to Phoenix, so getting closer to the end of the season. A lot of changes going to happen for these teams. I'm sure some mix-ups going to happen with the roster changes and upgrades, and then we'll have Xfinity to run as well. So it's going to be fun to see these teams do two series at the same time. Of course, it's going to slow things down a little bit progression-wise on my end, but get through it. Or let's do a restart. We didn't have a caution. Ah. Okay, guys. We'll see you Monday or Tuesday. I'll let you guys know. Thanks for watching.